What's up, gamers? Welcome to another video. Today I want to show guys a combo tutorial on the deck list that I played at this weekend's regional. I took on first place. I played the Tenyi Sword Soul Good Card Pile Synchro Summon deck. The deck worked out quite well. Combos are quite hard, and I noticed that no one really knows what the deck does, and even during the tournament, like my opponents didn't know what was going on. And I think people should know, and that's why I want to show you guys the two main combos that you will see if it happens, and what you can do against it and what the choke points are. So I'm gonna swap real quick to a different setup. Excuse the lighting, it's a bit dark, but I'm gonna show you two combos. The first one is Red Rose Adhara. The right can be in here, it doesn't really matter for this line. The right just ensures you that you bait hand traps, basically. That's what most of the deck is supposed to do. And I want to show like the standard line if you open right with any way to Helka Firebrax, since that will be the main line that you will most often play, because this is of course like a very optimal 2-card combo. Let's say Solar White Dragon in Thunder Dragon days. And that's not something that will happen most of the time. So there's a lot of lines where you just need to make Helk with a level 7, which gets you everything. Which will be the stuff I want to showcase. But I want to start with that. So first of all, you need either one of the Rite of Aramesir or the Water Enchantress of the Temple. These both get you your whole Brave Engine live. You just need one discard or one special summon to go into that. And that is not that hard to do for this deck, because of course the Red Rose is a normal summon. Every Tenyi name is something that you can special summon to trigger the Fateful Adventure. Next to that, there's of course a bunch of bricks in this deck, but even like normal summoning a hand trap will give you combo, since they are tuners. Like every hand trap I play is a tuner, mainly to make Helk if you brick with the rest of your hand. That's also why I play Triple Italia, of course. So a hand that I will show you guys is Right, Adhara, Vishuddha, because it doesn't include Ashuna, which is something important. And just for the sake of it, I'll add the double ochre to my hand to have like discard fodder and stuff. So what this hand will do is you will start by activating the Rite of Aramesir, giving yourself a token, and activating the Fateful Adventure from your deck. Going second, make sure to not play into Imperm columns. Even though Imperm isn't that good of a card right now, you should still like play around it as much as possible, of course. From there, you have a couple of choices. You can go for the search for the monster star directly. You could also, if you have any card that you can normal or special summon that you want to normal or special summon, like if these are all hand traps, you could just normal hand trap, go for the play or something like that. Or you can just like add the Draco, the dragon card. I don't even know what the fuck the name is. The Wandering Griffin Rider. Yeah, you can just add that directly from your deck. But with this specific hand, you would go for Vishuddha, triggering the Fateful Adventure, searching you the Griffin. And this is directly a cool line that I will show you guys with the Tenyis. So let me grab my extra deck. What you will do here is you will make Monk. This will be your third summon. Even though, again, Nibiru isn't that good this format, it's still something you want to play around. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be activating Adhara, since you're not controlling any effect monsters. And you will chain your Griffin Rider to the effect of Adhara on hand. So resolving, you will summon your Griffin Rider, summoning Adhara. So from here, as you can see, we have the level 7 that you need for the Red Rose. We have the token on the field making the level 7 a negate right now to protect our Helka Firebrax. We have a non-tuner and a tuner to make Helka Firebrax. So that's where the Tenyis really shine, of course, as well as going second. But from this line, you would make Helka Firebrax, triggering Helk, summoning Red Rose Dragon. If you open a hand like this and you have to make Helk without having the Red Rose as a normal summon in your hand, you would most often end on your Helka Firebrax, which is something that we are going to do right now as well. Which makes the Formula Synchron play live. This is also a play that you will always try to do against control decks, since the Blackout plus the Synchro 10 just puts in way more pressure than like a random Aurora on the field, and gives you a better chance turn 3, because if they just set 5 cards, your Endbird is not that good, because you just have a Baron pop and like a Blackout, which will most often just be negated turn 3 or something. What you'll go from here, Red Rose and the Wandering Griffin Rider. So you link away or synchro away one of your negates to make another negate, which is the Baronet de Fleur. Something that I've been debating is summoning Fleur in attack or defense. Game 1, you would need to make a certain choice. Post-siding, I would always choose to summon it in defense, since, at least that's my theory, I always play Lightning Storm, at least this format, because it's insane in the mirror match, because they always summon Xishao in defense, or in attack, sorry, because there's 1000 defense. And that's why I'm summoning Fleur in defense as well, because post-siding, Lightning Storm is a real threat to your end board, if this is in attack. If this is in defense, it poses a little bit less of a threat. And Zeus isn't something you have to worry about that much this format either. So like summoning in attack used to be good to play around Zeus in certain decks. Right now I'm still debating on summoning attack or defense. I don't really think it matters that much at this point. But with the Synchro Summon you will trigger the effect of the Red Rose Dragon. And you will summon your Rox Rose from your deck or your hand. So even if you hard draw the red Rox Rose, it's not that big of a deal. Rox Rose effect will add you your Basil Rose Shoot. From here, you would Synchro Summon the Rox Rose and your level 4. And you would make Yazi. You could also make Shooting Riser Dragon if you have access to any other level 3 or 4 tuner or something, or any level 1 tuner. It doesn't really matter. If at least you can still make a Yazi afterwards, it's fine. For example, if you have like an extender here, which you always have with the Basil Rose, and you've already have like a hard drawn Foolish Burial, or you had to normal summon your Despot, there are lines where you make Shooting Riser here, then special a Rose Dragon back, make a second Helk, then go for Auroradon. In certain hands they can come up, but most often if you hard draw the Despot, or if you have a Shuna engraved, so you can still get the level 1 tuner, which in this particular hand we do not have. So from here you just go straight into Yazi, you just skip the Snow, you skip the Shooting Riser, you keep them for turn 3. So Baronade, target the Yazi. Yazi effect, again depending on your hand, we right now do not have a Worm in hand, so we do not summon Moye. With this hand we summon the Taya. Taya effect, this is where you would banish your Vishuda to get you a level 4 tuner token. Here you can also activate Adhara, getting Vishuda back to your hand for a better follow-up play. And then you're gonna Synchro Summon these two into your Sword Soul Grandmaster Xishao. Triggering both, you can chain block the Xishao, you can chain block the Taya, it doesn't really matter. In some hands you can make Herald, which is a combo that I will show you guys in a second. But the Taya will trigger here, sending from deck to grave, of course. If you have a Herald, it doesn't really matter, and you most often skip the Taya. It came up for me sometimes where I keep the Adhara in grave, for example. I keep a token on the field for an Auroradon play, and you can banish a Worm from deck, then get it back with Adhara. Like that. That's just if you have Herald on the field, of course. Right now we'll just send a Shuna for follow-up and add the Blackout. Set to and pass. Of course you did this with 3 cards, like the Brave tokens plus a way into Helk, which is 2 cards most often. And this end field, what you will do, you will trigger the Xishao to negate like one of the first things they do. Banishing either the Taya, the Yazi, you won't want to keep your Tenyis in grave, of course. On resolution of that play, you will use Helk. Summoning Formula. Helk summons from extra deck, of course. Formula can miss timing, so make sure you always do Helk on resolution and do not chain it. Of course, there are some scenarios where you have to chain it if they activate like Chalice targeting your Helk or something. But try to always use your Helk on resolution, so you always get the +1 from the Formula, drawing you another card, which you want to be another hand trap, of course. So from here, you've already used the Xishao most often. If you cannot use it, it doesn't really matter. You just want to turn on your Blackout. You will Synchro those away for the Supreme King, Supreme Sovereign, Big Chengus. Now your Blackout becomes even stronger because it's removal for 1 the grave, 1 a banish from field, and 2 of course the 2 targets for Blackout. Plus you still have your Fleur Negate. And then turn 3 you have a lot of cards to keep going. And of course we didn't use a Roar on this turn, plus we didn't use our Despot from grave or from deck. So we still have this line to go in turn 3. So this is most often what you try to do turn 1. If you can do more, you probably want to do more. And if you hard draw the Red Rose, you can always go for Aurora on turn 1. But it comes up a lot that you don't have the Red Rose in your opening hand, of course, the 3 of. It will be like 1 in 3 games as you can. But then the Aurora line turn 3 will be a very strong play to go into. But yeah, that's it for this combo. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I see we forgot the Fateful Adventure. It doesn't really matter. You what we're supposed to do there is we add the equip spell, then we discard the equip spell, get the equip spell. That's something you I'll showcase in the next combo real quick. It doesn't matter in the end, but that's why you summon the Adhara first. You summon the Adhara, trigger the Fateful to search the Draco back, the equip spell, then search the Griffin, then pitch the one, and that's how you do it from there. But yeah, the next combo I want to show you is the most broken combo in the deck, I think. It's just Asuna Red Rose. And just for the sake of it, I'll put like triple E-Tally in my hand. Doesn't really matter. This is the most fun combo to resolve because it doesn't include Brave. This is something that you could have done like way before. What you do is you go Asuna, you go Red Rose, synchro these away for a Baronet. So again, like the third summon, without activating any effect, you summon Baronet, so you have hand trap protection. You give yourself Red Rose effect. Red Rose will summon, of course, the Rox Rose Dragon from your deck. Rox Rose will trigger searching you your Basil Rose Shoot. And if you have E-Tally, you can use E-Tally. If you don't, you just use your Basil Ship to summon the Red Rose. And from here, you can make Helk. In this hand, your Helk will summon the Deskbot, because we've already used our Red Rose, of course. And your Helk will not stay on the field. So this is a little bit more of a heavier combo field, and your follow-up will be a little bit worse. But I don't think that's that big of a deal. So you synchro these away, or link these away, sorry, for the Auroradon. Auroradon summon 3 tokens. Deskbot will trigger. Now you're on this line. Normally you would think you would go into Yazi, which is something you would do usually if you do not have the Asuna engrave. So from here, you would link, or you synchro away your Deskbot and 1 token for the Herald. And then you will activate your Asuna to summon Adhara from deck. 1, 3, and 3 will synchro summon into Yazi. You can do 2 things here. You can do Baronet to pop the Yazi. Sometimes in certain hands post-siding, you would have to use your Baronet to negate the token collector, or maybe pop the token collector if you ash something or something. If you did ash or something with certain hands, it sometimes comes up that you use your negate or your pop. Also going second, it sometimes comes up. Then you can use your Auroradon effect to tribute the Auroradon, destroy a card on the field, which will be the Yazi. But normally you want to just use your Baron, turn 1. So you pop your Yazi. Again, summon Moye if you have a Worm, summon Taya if you don't. So we'll summon Taya, because we don't. So Taya effect, banish your Yazi, summon a token. You can activate Adhara here, adding back Asuna. And this is what I meant before. Since we do not we have a Herald on the field, we can trigger Taya, but it's not really worth it because we will just banish a card from our deck. And the Worms are most often good top decks. So you just activate your Shishao here, searching you your Blackout. And you set your Blackout. And you pass turn. So this makes your Herald. It's just a little bit of a better end field. I still like the Helk play more for game 1. Game 3 versus like combo decks, I think this is a little bit better. And the Herald is just, it's also better if you play Souls, which I do not at the moment, but it's something I'm considering. Because if you activate Herald effect to negate something, you can search your Illusion of Chaos to have a Souls play turn 3, which is actually very strong. So that's something that you would do if you play Souls more often, you would go into this line. But yeah, that's it for the 2 combos I want to showcase real quick. If you have any questions on how to use certain cards or how to mainly go off on your Brave engine, make sure to leave them in the comment below. I would like to do a little bit of a follow-up video on this. But this deck is very unexplored. It's very, very strong, and we should see more coming from this deck. I know there are some 60 card decks that use like the weirdest stuff to just make Helk, and Helk will be combos in certain ways. Like it's something that I'm still considering, because right now I think just Helk doesn't really do much, because you need like level 7s plus Red Rose, and I really want to up the consistency, so that's why I still play 40, 41, 42. I think I'm gonna play 41, cut the 40, cut the snow from my list, and then I will be on exactly 40. which would be something that I'm still considering. But yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.